Gus, what motivates you? What makes you want to get up in the morning?
Working more on my projects. Psychic Spice, you know that.
So I know that you've made determinations about the Loch Ness Monster. You said it was a ghost of a dinosaur, right?
Yes.
Where else have you conducted research?
Mostly in Scotland and England. So, yeah. And mostly in Europe.
Have you thought of training other young people to acquire those skills? Their psychic ability?
Some. Maybe I do it more in future. For now, mostly I'm at home, working on it more and more.
Joker, what motivates you? What makes you want to get up in the morning?
What motivates you?
Getting through the day.
That's nice. What motivates me? I like to see a world full of nothing. Doesn't really matter.
Explain nothingness to me.
You see, when you go down the street and you see a car crash and you see people die, you move on, you drive past it. You don't think about them 10 years from now. You move on. What motivates me? To see people forget that nothing.
So nothing affects them if they forget?
Nothing is important.
All right. Lillian, what motivates you? What makes you want to get up in the morning?
You know, I feel like that's kind of a big question right now. I'm just really focused on like day by day, trying to get through, get things done. You know, I'm planning my wedding, so newly engaged, and just, you know, focused on that. I'm not really thinking about like big picture stuff right now. That's not really my
Okay.
thing.
Wedding planning is a lot.
Yeah, exactly. I'm super busy and there's a lot. It's crazy.
Leia, how about you? What motivates you?
Well, I'm 17, so I'm motivated by the fact that I'm going to one day marry an NBA player.
Oh, do you have someone in mind?
No, anyone that I can find.
Okay. How would you go about meeting them? Going to a game and getting an autograph after, or?
Yes, I go to a lot of basketball games, and I plan to continue that until I meet one and marry.
Okay. All right. That's what's your worst childhood memory?
One of my classmates always spying on me, and now I wish I can go back and kill him.
Okay.
The way that I do for my hamster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I heard about your poor hamster.
Yeah.
I like that answer.
I became vicious.
So, Joker, do you have a worse childhood memory, or do you?
I don't remember my
You don't remember your
childhood.
childhood? Yeah. I
No,
figured that.
no.
Okay. How about in your imagination? Could you create a memory?
Well, let's see. One day, I remember coming home from school, and I see my brother in the bathtub. Took a toaster with him. It's not my favorite childhood memory, but it's there.
Okay. That rate's up there. How about for you, Lillian? Worst childhood memory?
I had a pretty good childhood. Like, my parents are super nice, so I don't really have like a worst childhood memory, but I would say my most embarrassing moment, probably that scarred me for life, was when me and my friend Annie were practicing for like this skit that we wanted to do in school, and we were doing the Dirty Dancing scene where she like runs and he lifts her up. Do you remember that, where she's like in the air, and I like ran and jumped and Annie lifted me up, and we had all of our friends watching, including like my crush, oh my god, Chris Anderson. Loved him. He was there watching. We're all sitting and I like run and Annie goes and she pushes me up in the air, and like as her hands pushed on my belly, I let out the loudest fart you have ever heard. And it sounded wet and I wanted to die, and I've like, that has always stuck with me. That's probably my like most embarrassing, most worst childhood memory ever. You know, that's all I can really give you.
No, thank you. Thank you for your candor. Leah?
My worst childhood memory is when my mom took my allowance away from me because she thought that when she thought one of my friends was pregnant, she thought it was me. And so she got really upset with me and she took my $2,000 allowance from me, and I was just sick.
Well, didn't you explain what was going on to your mom?
I did, but she didn't believe me because I lie a lot.
And why do you feel compelled to lie a lot?
She just has so many questions, so I just tell her whatever just to get rid of her.
Gus, what's your greatest fear?
Greatest fear, I'm afraid if someone does the same thing I'm doing to the others.
To the goats and hamsters?
Yeah, that's why I don't want to train anyone else now. Because I'm afraid it comes back to me.
I can kind of understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Joker, what about you? I know you don't feel much about anything, but do you ever have a fear of something? Like maybe drowning, or I don't know.
My biggest fear is the world we're living in now. Lies, deception. No one's ever truthful.
How do you think this world could be cleansed?
Telling everyone how they feel, even if it's the worst thing they've ever heard.
How far has that taken you?
We're all liars. Everyone's lied. Everyone's lied at least once a day. To themselves, to other people. If everyone's honest, that is a real world. Do not feel for other people. Do not feel for yourself. Let it out.
So, by being honest, even if that hurts someone, that's better than the lies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Lillian, how about you?
Well, now that I'm engaged, I feel like a lot of pressure because being the bride, you have to be the center of attention and you want everything to be perfect, and I'm not really like a perfectionist, and so it's just weird to be the one who's like center stage. Like, I've usually just kind of hung back and kind of like made fun of like the person who's in the center of attention, and so it feels really awkward for me, and I'm like, do I even deserve this? Like, I don't know. Am I making the right decision with Dougie? Like, do I even deserve this happiness? Like, it just feels weird and out of body and awkward for me, and I'm like just super nervous that things aren't gonna go well. And Annie's like my best friend ever, but she's not that into this kind of thing, and she has to blend with all my other bridesmaids, and my husband's boss's wife Helen is in my wedding, and she's like perfect in every way, and so just unaware of like how much everything's costing and how crazy it is, because she's just on another planet in terms of wealth and status and everything, and I like would die to be her, but at the same time like I kind of hate her and I just feel overwhelmed by all of it.
So your fear is that it doesn't all come together?
That it doesn't come together, and like even deeper than that, like maybe I don't even deserve it all to come together. Like this is like too good for me a little bit. I don't know. I'm like overthinking it, I'm sure, but it's just like awkward to be the bride. It's just like overwhelming me.
No, there's medication for what you have.
How about for you, Leah?
I'm getting pregnant by a guy with no money,
But it'd be okay if it was an NBA player.
of course.
Okay. Gus, how do you want to be remembered after you die? What do you want people
Probably-
to remember about you?
Probably I don't want anyone remember me.
So you want to remain a mystery?
Yes. Me and my job, both.
I like that answer. I don't want to be remembered. Who wants to be remembered? No.
You don't want
Leaving-
anyone to
leaving
say Joker was such and such?
No, no, no. Leaving a vague footprint without anyone knowing your name, that is the biggest reward you can ever have.
Okay. How about for you, Lily?
I have kind of a lighter view. I just want to be someone who made people laugh and had fun and left like a positive impression, was a good friend.
Leah?
I want mine to say the wife of an NBA player.
Okay. Thank you very much.